She came alive after years out in the barn. I never thought I'd hear that motor run. I had to sweep away the cobwebs when I took off that old tarp. Been working on her in my spare time now for a month. And when I climbed up in that seat, it felt just like I remembered. And I turned the key reluctantly. It took me right back to riding with my dad. We didn't know that he'd leave so suddenly. But he used to say, let's take a drive, see what we can find. Let's take a drive and leave this world behind. Yeah, just for a little while. We'll be back at supper time. Let's take a drive. We used to drive along this dirt road down beside the lake until the gravel turned to mud down by the swamp. And then he'd turn on to the highway and we'd stop at Dairy Queen. And he'd say, don't be a fool and tell your mom. The window down, the wind whipping through my hair. Yeah, it's a memory that I hope never fades. And we'd get those great big twister cones. Yeah, we'd go park it somewhere in the shade. He used to say, let's take a drive and see what we can find. And let's take a drive and leave this world behind just for a little while. We'll be back by supper time. Let's take a drive. He'd say, this old truck is the last Apache in these hills. So go on, get your sister and climb up in that seat. I'll tell your mother we'll be gone for a little while. You put the station on the oldies and roll that window down. We're headed down the road couple miles. Let's take a drive, just see what we can find. Let's take a drive and leave this world behind just for a little while. We'll be back by supper time. Let's take a drive.